Hello everyone, welcome to Four Lads a Dream, just a small podcast update special, just out of a meeting with Andrew Kavanagh, which all the press were invited to. It was all on the record. You'll hear a lot more of that in the coming days, but the biggest news for the support is that Danny Rohl is staying as head coach. Andrew Kavanagh and the board of directors feel that he's done enough to earn the right to go and sign the players he wants, to go and have a strong summer, and get the recruitment right. And not only that, but to spend a lot of time with the players on the training pitch, which they feel that he has not had. That is going to be hugely controversial. We pushed back. We said, are you aware of the feeling around Danny Rohl? They absolutely are. Are you aware of how that's going to look, how it's going to project, and how the fans are going to feel about that? Yeah, they absolutely are aware of that. Did we make them aware of how it looks if Rangers have a bad start to the season, etc., and we're caught in that rinse repeat? Then we absolutely declared all that and made all that well, and they are sticking by their man. Danny Rohl will be head coach of Rangers going forward. Not much we can do. These guys run the football club. It's not up to us to tell them that this is how you do it and they're wrong. We can only pass on the message. We can only try and say this is how the fans feel, this is what the fans have been displaying, and they're aware of it. They were told at Falkirk Stadium yesterday just exactly the mood music around the football club at this moment in time. What they have said and what they pointed to, the reason why this has gone so badly wrong is on the squad, is on the players, and that needs severe work done to it. When you think back to what Danny Rohl said during the week, he said that the things surrounding Tav and everything else, they need severe cuts to that, and we need to make sure that doesn't happen again. I think it's quite clear what the owners of the football club feel, and certainly what the head coach feels. Rangers are in a position we've seen before. New manager comes in, we get an uplift, rinse repeat. We go for a title when it looks unlikely, and then we fall short. Why do we keep falling short? Ultimately, well, the owners feel that the reason we fall short ultimately is because of those players and because of that squad. That squad's going to be completely revamped, and there's going to be a lot of work done to it. When you look at the numbers last summer, I think there was like 27, 28 turnaround in and out the football club. I would surmise that it would not be unlikely to see those kind of numbers again. Maybe not slightly up there, but would it be 22, 23, 24? I think that's quite right. Already when you look at the amount of players that will leave on loan, the amount of players that will leave on free, I think you're already up at 7, 8. You look at the loan guys that will come in, we'll look to put out, and you'll probably look at in the region of about 10 players coming in. I don't think that's unrealistic, so we're set for a really, really busy summer. But what it will be, like it or not, Danny Rohl will be the head coach. And please, ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of you will look at this and say, fan media, they just go along with everything. And sometimes I understand that completely. Short of standing on a table and shouting and screaming, we made, myself, David Edgar, made our position perfectly clear. This is a mood music. This is a feeling of the football club. This is what it's like. You need to be prepared for that backlash. You need to be prepared for what the fans are going to say to this. You need to also be prepared that if we don't start the season very well, this is exactly what's going to be said. But ultimately, folks, what we say to them, they own this football club, they run this football club. They're not going to be swayed by the fans or by what Stevie and Davey say to them in a meeting. But we certainly did make that clear. I think it's a really brave decision. It's one that I'm not entirely sure is correct. I think maybe a mutual partner the ways would have been beneficial for everyone, given the mood music of the fans and things like that. But you know what? If they stick with them, they have to stick with them now and see it through. And we need a really good summer. Recruitment has to be dead on. I do agree with them. I do think we have some pieces in the jigsaw throughout that team. Not a lot, but there is some. The Romans, like Fernandes, Chermiti. Can we build on certain players? Can we get more out of others? There is squad players there, the likes of Chupwani and things like that can play a part, but who else is going to come in? There could be very big departures this summer as well, when you look at the likes of Raskin, Fernandes, even Chermiti. So this is a big, big summer for Rangers. They've made the call. Danny Rohl will be the head coach, and there will be more fallout for that on Four Lads a Dream, and you'll hear more of what else happened at this meeting this morning and what else they talked about as well, the structure of the football club, etc. So there'll be all that coming days. But thank you for joining us for this small update. Hope you all have a fantastic Sunday, and we'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.